rock and roll capital. It's time for a show that'll open your eyes and your ears. You don't need to worry about health insurance here.
Rest your lips, put down the image. Go ahead.
It's time for Band-Aid. With your host, Doc Rock.
Hey, thank you, and a worldwide web welcome to Band-Aid with Doc Rock. I am Doc Rock, your rocktologist, and we are live in living color, podcasting from the rock and roll capital of Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, I always look forward to spending the time with you every Tuesday night. Okay. Now listen, Band-Aid is a global and interactive weekly forum, and it's designed to help bands get better. You know, these are indeed tough times, so we're here to tackle your challenges in the music industry. And I'd like to say thank you. I appreciate you for spreading the word and for linking us on your sites. You know, we continue to grow in viewership every single show, but you know what? It's really your show, and it's all about supporting your success. And of course, so many shows have gone on for so many months now, there's a lot of content there. And if you can always catch any of our archive shows at bandaidwithdocrock.com. You know, this huge website also offers a large assortment of music industry related links that are listed right there on the sitemap as, well, helpful resource links, because that's what they are. They're there to help you. You know, but we always invite your suggestions for additional music industry resource links. We know you're finding them. They're out there all the time. They're happening all the time. I can't keep up with this stuff anymore. I need you to help me to help you. Got it? Email them to me so I can get those on our site. And of course, you will find a page on the website that's listed as Recovery Room Interview Application. Well, if your entire band just wants to be interviewed live in our recovery room, all you got to do is complete this little short application, submit it to our artist relations staff, and they will review it and they'll get you scheduled on this show. So, love to have your band on this show. And of course, please join us in the chat room. And on your screen, you'll occasionally see our email address, show@bandaidwithdocrock.com. Please use it during the show and anytime to email me future show topics and even suggestions. Help me to help you. Again, when you share your ideas and experiences, it helps all of our viewers. And never, never, never forget, we are in this rock together. All right, our talented production team is in the house tonight. I couldn't do it without all these folks. The intern wizards are flying around all over this place, making things happen. Woo, it's high speed. Good thing there's not a traffic camera on my set. Social Racket's out there doing their thing. My bud Jared Howley's out there cruising the nation, looking for the biggest and best talent for this show. But I always like to say thank you to the incredible Flying V. He's the big guy back there sweating it out, stressing, turning the knobs, and making this thing happen. Thanks to my production team, because in show business, it always takes a team. Okay, I'd like to tell you, my blood pressure is elevated this week again. No. Here is the reason why. You know, bands who have poor stage posture. That's right. I'm the Doc Rock, okay? How many bands do I see that have poor stage posture? The stage is the stage for a reason. It is revered and it is sacred. It makes humans rise above their ordinary selves and extol their higher talents to uplift others. You know, many pay to see people on a stage. They deserve to get entertainment value for their payment. You have an obligation to deliver. Boy, strippers know this better than anybody. But, you know, you also have an obligation to view the stage with a celebrated opportunity to shine. And it's not just another mundane live rehearsal or just a jam. It is a show. And show is not a four-letter word. I see bands who just face away from the audience, you know. They're facing away from the audience in uncertainty. Gee, do they really belong there? Band members who talk amongst themselves as if the fans don't even exist. Wait a second, those are the people that are paying to see you. You know, I see slouching posture. I see sad faces. I see bored faces. I see poor manners. I see no radiance in their presence, and yet they expect fans to salute and support them? Come on, it's called animation. You gotta be glad that you're out there no matter if the sky is falling. That's what makes good live entertainers. Well, if you do all of those other things, you're wrong and your career is gonna be short-lived. Most pro performers take a simple reference video of their show and critically watch their stage appearance, show after show. They look at themselves with a real discerning eye and a critical eye. Not just about their ego, but about, from an audience perspective, what they're like. You know, even these airshow pilots, the air show's coming up in Cleveland, it is exciting, but these airshow pilots, they actually watch their performances very carefully on video afterward, and hey, they're in a life-threatening situation, all right? So they have a lot more to be worried about, but you need to really take a self-exam about your stage body language and your image projection with this thought in mind. Would you pay to see your show live? Answer that one honestly. So I want you to address your weaknesses. Don't fear your weaknesses. Approach your weaknesses head on. That's what makes real celebrities. There's not a weak spot in them. They can sing, they can dance, they can act, they're animated. They're so well-rounded that their agents and managers can have them in any aspect of the entertainment industry because they're comfortable, because they know they can deliver. Combat your weaknesses. You know, you can do things too, like taking lessons in voice, taking lessons in stage and acting, animation, take lessons in dance. Doesn't mean you have to dance on the stage, but it means you move your body in rhythm, and you can walk in rhythm, and you project yourself in rhythm. You communicate rhythm. That's what pros do. They take lessons all the time. The industry can see a real pro before the very first note is played. You can see a celebrity because they are star-like. They light up a room with the comfort in themselves. The industry is only interested in developed pros. Time is money. They're not out there to develop you. You've got to do it for yourself. So please, be a stage pro. Word up from your doc. All right, I'd like it open wide and get ready for Doc's weekly prescription. All right, you know, every band, every artist needs an online newsletter. That's right. Tech information is moving quicker, faster. Our attention spans are being shrunk now to less than 3 seconds. It's getting a little bit scary out there, but newsletters are very, very effective. Your website and social messages are not enough content. If you truly have new messages to get out, then the right and effective newsletter format is the ideal medium for that. The first step is to create a fan and even broader interest database. You know, this should include additional things like media contacts, sponsors, labels, agents, even venue talent buyers should be getting your newsletter. The newsletter should be regarded as a serious marketing tool and can be sent on a monthly basis. No, it's not weekly. No, it's not bi-weekly. It should be monthly. Don't overdo it. You know, I must commend regional artist Zach, ZachMusic.net. He has one of the best formats and best newsletters I have seen in this region. Go to ZachMusic.net, get his newsletter, see what he does, because he is successful. You know, your newsletter core should contain exciting updates, links to related media about you, sponsor updates, and all kinds of testimonials, gig calendars so fans can track you, you know, with all kinds of links. Get content into that newsletter. Get it moving. To heighten the contents, you can also add contests, pictures with fans and celebrities, discount incentives on merchandise and tickets, you know, even personal reflections and silly tour anecdotes, sure. You can even go so far as to profile a new fan with their photo and their quotes about you during each newsletter. You know, if you do not have the content, then work to generate it. You know, that's what press agents do and what Hollywood and Washington spin is all about. And people suck it up all the time, okay? You know, we are voyeurs and personal info junkies by nature. Feed it, you know? You want to get out there and put these the content together and get it to these people and keep them excited. An impressive newsletter evidence is that you are a business and you know marketing. It also shows that you're productive with a desire to grow and not just wait for a new social media to come along for you. It's not all about social media. It's about direct marketing. You know, it's appreciated and recognized also that you are both smart and aggressive and ultimately a good investment. And that's what labels and managers and talent buyers look for. Bands that are on the move, bands that are really professionals in the business. And a newsletter is a great way to do that. Generating a monthly newsletter takes time and focus, and it is a much better return on investment than mere instant gratification-based social media. So bands, I want you to swallow this wise marketing prescription and get better. All right, speaking of great efforts, I gotta say it each week, I'm getting more and more excited about my friend and my guitar tech guru, Mark Reese. You know, he was on this show months ago. He is the guitar tech of the biggest names in the industry. That's right. He's always on tour somewhere on this globe, but he's on the biggest stages out there, making sure the guitars are great. Well, he really gives back to community, and he's got a guitar giveaway project called OurSacrifice.org. Our Sacrifice supports 5 grassroots veterans organizations, and all he does is he gets incredible premium autographed guitars. How about that? Premium autographed guitars and now amps and basses from some of the greatest stars. They autograph them and they donate them for this great cause. You'll be blown away when you go to the website and just click on the donor artists and you'll go, wow, these are the top people in the industry. Everybody should be joining me, their doc, in supporting this most important patriotic cause. It is indeed my favorite. Please visit OurSacrifice.org to learn more. And of course, you'll be amazed at what you can win for a simple raffle donation to support our very deserving troops. And you know, when you put in your donation, if they don't draw your name that month, it stays in there. It's a great investment. So it's perpetual, just keep staying. So when you least expect it and you're trying to shave a few $100 up for a good guitar, you may win something that's worth thousands of dollars and support the veterans. That's what excites me about this. And again, I salute Mark Reese because that guy is really giving back and doing something special. And that's why we have talent. All right. I also got to tell you, speaking of talent, I was blown away again this week. Wow, you know, I get CDs. People send me CDs and say, Doc, listen to this, listen to that. Good stuff. You know, stuff's really, really wonderful. I appreciate it all. But once in a while, from that place out there called Left Field, will come a CD that will blow the Doc out of his chair. And I want to say congratulations to the Brunswick band, the Day Method. Day Method. Those 3 little guys, okay? Ben, Matt, and Dylan sent me their CD, which is called Beautiful. And this CD, Beautiful, absolutely all 10 tracks blew me away. Now, it is electropop as electropop could ever be. The title track, Beautiful, is a bullet single. But there's so many great tracks. There's not a weak track on all 10 of these. And Ben Williams told me, Doc, we've been working for 2 years on this CD. This is what it's all about. This is all about quality, not just releasing a lot of CDs and EPs often, but putting quality well ahead of quantity. I would recommend all of you this wonderful band called Day Method. Go to Day Method. They're on Facebook, okay? I'm thrilled with this band. Check this CD out. If you're into electropop, done really well. Congratulate the Day Method. Doc, really a salute to you guys because this is one great CD. All right. It is time for those weekly artist injections. That's right. Okay. You know, I gotta say, have you checked out the Decour? Have you checked out the Decour? I know what you're thinking. The creative and talented band is called the Decour, and they hail from Charlotte, North Carolina. And the Decour claim to be alternative and rock, but they are so much more. Members Drew, Chandler, Nick, and Dalton are talented musicians and craftsmen at the trade of effective and diverse songwriting and arranging. You know, sadly, there is no profile available on any of their 3 sites, so I wish I could find out more about the background and the profile of the Decour. Guys, never forget this. You gotta get profiles done, all right? You know, so I went to get a more visual sense of this exciting young band and visited their photo gallery, as I often do with any band. Well, there's a smattering of images posted. You know, there's some promos, there's some profile, a little bit of live, some poster art, and some creative fun. You know, it's only okay. So I went out there to look at the videos, and the video offerings are worse. All right, what's up with this? You know, I found one vid of nothing more than just some random antics and another of just, you know, Drew and Chandler doing an unplugged version of the song Chicago. And, you know, it's a great song, but neither video does anything to uphold this impressive band. But the Decours seem to offer 2 unique t-shirts at $20 each on bigcartel.com. Okay, Big Cartel. If you check that out and look at the Decour shirts, you know, they're neat. They're pretty nice shirts. And of course, they have their prior EP entitled Something Meaningful is on there for $5. But their latest album is entitled It's Been a While and filled with impressive songs. Let's listen to the title track of the latest by the Decour, It's Been a While. Listen to this tune.
And I'm sorry it's been so long, but I've been writing songs about the same thing over and over again. And I'm sorry it's been a while, but we're coming back in style. I've been writing melodies, now I'm done with history. I'm writing down my thoughts and all the outraged melodies. I'm done with worrying about the way things roll off the tip of my tongue. See the way they always come around. I'm sorry I've been so quiet, but things they gather in piles. That's the way my head works, things just keep on piling up. And I'm sorry I've been so far from every one of your hearts. I've been taking time to get my head back on my body. I'm done with history. I'm writing down my thoughts and all the outraged melodies. I'm done with worrying about the way things roll off the tip of my tongue. See the way they always come around. You don't have to pay attention. All I ask is that you don't judge me. You don't have to pay attention. All I ask is that you don't judge me. I'm done with history. I'm writing down my thoughts and all the outraged melodies. I'm done with worrying about the way things roll off the tip of my tongue. See the way they always come. I'm done with history. I'm writing down my thoughts and all the outraged melodies. I'm done with worrying about the way things roll off the tip of my tongue. See the way they always come around.
Okay, that is the Decour's title track to their latest album, and It's Been a While. And you know what? It really exemplifies their writing skills. They have these lush harmonies, strong hooks, and very memorable lyrics. You know, there's a strong balance in how this band resonates off of each other. You can just hear it. They work together. They play as one band. You know, Drew's vocals are intimate and really, really sincere. I like that. The songs are positive and meaningful. It all works well. And of course, some of the Decour's other tunes illustrate their diversity. The song Call You Mine is positive and uplifting. Lost Your Heart is captivating, but it's so honest and so forlorn. You know, it is the anthem for really any broken relationship. And their tune Chicago just proves that the band can rock out as well. So, on a scale of 1 to 5 on the Band-Aid musical scale known as BAMS, I thrust upon the Decour, ha! One BAMS for being a tight and talented band with a common vision and a really strong sense of musical unity. And, yeah! Another BAMS for truly impressive and diverse songwriting, lyrics, and arrangements. They may not offer a slew of recordings, but what they do offer, done very, very well. And, yeah! One BAMS for sending honest tweets and messages and being really openly and honestly communicating with their fans that they're really grinding away at new offerings. They are in touch with their fans. Fans appreciate it, and they keep the fans as a high priority, well into the loop, and very, very updated. So that's a total of 3 BAMS for the Charlotte, North Carolina band, the Decour. You know, I like this band. There's plenty there to hold your attention and pull you into their musical world. And this is not easily done by a lot of bands. So I'd like to say bravo to the Decour for keeping music flowing freely and colorful. Okay, injection artists number 2. When it comes to genuine acoustic pop, then the artist Paper Lungs is in the fold. Paper Lungs' real name is Jordan Crosby, and he hails from Iowa City, Iowa. Great small town guy, full of spirit. Paper Lungs, you know, maybe small town, but he just enjoys shoveling up fun and catchy tunes. He's modest, and you can definitely hear that he's really passionate about making music. Paper Lungs says that he's doing acoustic a little different and from how you have heard it before. Okay, I can buy that. You know, when I visited his photo gallery, of course, all I could find were 4 pics. You know, some were promo, and one was a close-up of the extreme, and I mean extreme, tattoo art on his right shoulder. You know, of course, there was no merch to be found, and by his own admission, Paper Lungs says he's 20, he's broke, he's tattooed, and he's pierced. And he's absolutely right. You know, he cannot invest in his marketing at this point or any related byproducts at that time. I understand what starting out is all about, but I did happen to find one homemade video of a modest and random performance of the tune Breathe Carolina. You know, it's a blackout vocal cover. You know, it is pretty fair. It's not incredibly career enhancing. It's kind of just done in his home. A little bit of a random. But, you know, why would he even post a marginal video like that? I'm not certain. If he's getting good managerial advice, you need things of really good dynamics. But whatever. His latest EP, well, it says it all. It's no worries. Oh, well. So let's inhale the song Sweet Nothings by the acoustic pop artist Paper Lungs. Listen to this.
If we're gonna talk about it, then let's talk about it. And you can clear the air, the chit and chat, and that the grapevine is having just isn't fair. The rumors are ruining what could have been a love that was lost. We all just wanna be loved. If nothing was a something, then I wouldn't be standing here whispering sweet nothings in my baby's ear, only to hear her say, I don't love you, I don't love you. I know, I'm just an average Joe. You told me 1,000 times. It's true, I used to be a fool for you. Now I'm just a broken down clown looking for an excuse to call and lay it all on the line. But I won't, not this time. We all just wanna be loved. If nothing was a something, then I wouldn't be standing here whispering sweet nothings in my baby's ear, only to hear her say, I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you.
Well, Sweet Nothings by Paper Lungs verifies that he is in love and making simple music. You know, his voice has a very clean and a very polite range. You know, he's totally honest, totally random. Maybe that's how artists should be. His guitar playing, it works for his casual style, but Paper Lungs is just a good guy who just loves to make music. Nothing more than that. There's not much depth to his offerings, you know, even in his other tunes like Better Days, Babe, Sex, and Tin Can Telephone, okay? So, on a scale of 1 to 5 on the Band-Aid musical scale known as BAMS, I exhale onto the artist, Paper Lungs, ha-ha! With 1 BAMS for his sincere nature and his real passion for music. And you can hear and feel the passion in this young man. And of course, should we? Yeah, let's do it. 1 BAMS for being honest and writing just what he feels. You know, there is no hard sell. There's no agenda. He's truly, truly a free bird. So that's a total of 2 BAMS for the Iowa acoustic pop artist called Paper Lungs. You know, I just like to give him an A for effort and passion, but Paper Lungs needs so much more to really launch his talent and beckon real interests. Paper Lungs is doing a little more than just being the artist at his own pace, to be the good guy who just wants to make music for fun. I hope that he's having a blast. All right, that's all the artist injections that I can handle for this week. I like the buzz, you know, and it's cool to discover and inject all of these creative and deserving national talents. And we're looking for your opinions, because we know you've got one too, on any of these weekly injection artists. Just visit our dedicated show website at bandaidwithdocrock.com. Click on future shows. Take a look at the future shows and you'll see what bands are coming up for it to be injected. And then click on injection artist input link. Right there, you can enter what you have to say to me about future artists, and just send it along. Your artist opinion really matters. Get involved. All right. You know, this show is all about helping you to be a pro. But let's move away from just the musical side of it for a moment. Being a pro band means that you need to really manage your money well. What expenses can be business deductions? You know, what about profit and loss statements? Ever-changing tax laws? You know, every business and successful pro band needs a relationship with a skilled, certified public accountant. Drew Cate, my friend, is a former rock drummer and now one of the finest CPAs. He'll help you to understand immense benefits and gains of working with an experienced accountant. And believe me, he is a financial friend and a VIP. Drew Cate, he is right here in the house tonight, and he's going to be right here after this break. This is important, so you stick around. I've got to take a short break, so I'm going to BRB. I want you to hang with me here on MSC. My name is Doc Rock. This is Band-Aid with Doc Rock. Go ahead, break open a cold one, and I'll see you in a few.
From the Cocaine Energy Supplement Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
Drops and candy things. Breakdown.
Unbound, unstoppable, uncensored net noises birthday bash. Yeah! Get your ass to Fantasy Nightclub in Lakewood on Friday, September 23rd for live music for Morality Check, Demons Within, and The Thousandfold. Hosted by comedian Anthony Sabat. Uncensored Net Noises birthday bash. Sponsored by Cocaine Energy Supplement. Get more details at morningshowcentral.com. Cocaine Energy Supplement. Due to great consumer demand, Redux Beverages has officially announced the return of its world-famous Cocaine Energy Supplement. It's now available at retail locations across the country, as well as online at reduxdirect.com. That's reduxdirect.com. Don't forget to be part of the all-new Cocaine Energy Supplement social network, where you can meet other Cocaine Energy Supplement fans from around the world. Cocaine Energy Supplement. You can become a member. You can become a member by logging on to lovecocaine.com.
So hard, we were not on guard. We can't forget who we are. It's time to take a stand and win back what we had by healing broken hearts. These words will form our battleground. We are not backing down, and if nothing else gets through these lips, just know that you're not taking this. Just know that you're not taking this. This peace has long been breached, yet we still fall asleep. We can't let this slip away. We say that we've been changed. Why do we stay the same? There's far too much at stake. These words will form our battleground. We are not backing down, and if nothing else gets through these lips, just know that you're not taking this. Just know that you're not
P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right.
This program contains graphic material, including offensive language.
It's the noise. The noise you can't ignore.
Are you scared?
Every Friday night, 9 p.m. to midnight.
Don't go in there. Promise me you don't go in there.
Uncensored Net Noise. Uncensored Net Noise. On MorningShowCentral.com.
Rise above the clutter, brand your identity, and make a statement. Broken Fan Media. Expert video production, television and web commercials, music video, real estate tours, live concerts and events, state-of-the-art post-production, video and audio editing. Check us out on the web at brokenfanmedia.com. 434-944-0472. Broken Fan Media. The next generation of sight and sound.
Coming at you from the rock and roll capital. It's an exciting and fast-paced global forum with the man who knows how to help get your band even better. Yeah! Doc Rock tackles industry issues with informed guests and invites your questions, concerns, and tales of band life. There's never a dull moment in Doc's world of showbiz. He cares about artist issues and escalating your talents. So make an appointment with Doc Rock on Band-Aid.
Thank you!
Tuesday night, starting at 9:05. Only on MorningShowCentral.com. Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at Facebook.com/MorningShowCentral. Denying one Farmville request at a time.
Welcome back to Band-Aid with Doc Rock here on MorningShowCentral.com. I am Doc Rock, your rocktologist, and I'd like to say welcome to my friend Drew Cates in the VIP lab. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you, Chris?
Good. Okay. It's good to have you away from your desk for a change and finally sitting doing your thing. And Doc is doing fine. Drew Cates is the sole owner of Drew Cate Company Incorporated. He's a certified public accounting firm in Beechwood, Ohio. You know, he's been practicing public accounting since 1977 with a concentration in servicing a wide range of closely held businesses and individuals as it relates to providing tax services, including preparation, planning, and representation, very important stuff, as well as providing traditional accounting services, including the areas of compilation and review, the business and business consulting services. Wow, you do it all practically. My gosh. Drew is a member of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, the Accountancy Board of Ohio, and the Ohio Society of Certified Public Accountants. Good to have you here, my friend. You've earned your stripes with all this, haven't you?
Thank you, Doc.
What a great bunch of services. Incredible. Okay, now Drew Cate, you grew up in the Cleveland area?
Yes.
You did, okay.
Grew up in
And Beechwood? Mm-hmm. Okay, Beechwood High School?
Beechwood High School.
Beechwood High School. All right, great stuff. And somewhere along the way, somebody was telling me that you actually were a rock drummer in high school or just out of high school?
Yes, actually, I was in my first rock band in about 7th or 8th grade. First band was called The Rising Sun.
Ah, okay.
We used to practice in my backyard because we had baseball fields in backyard, so we used to play for all the teams that were playing back there.
Okay.
In my second band, somewhere along early high school, a band called Soutage.
Soutage?
Soutage.
Interesting name.
I don't remember who came up with that. And we used to play in the different high school dances and different events.
Okay. So the Rising Sun and Soutage. Did people call your family home the House of the Rising Sun or something back then? Is that the running joke?
Might have. I don't remember anymore.
Two very distinct meetings, Drew. You know how that goes. So that's great. When you were growing up with drums, why did you pick drums to play?
It's a funny story. Actually, it was a cousin of mine who played drums, and I wanted to kind of be like him.
Oh, really? Okay. So you stuck with it. Now, do you still have the drums like in the closet at home or in the
I'd rather not talk about the drum situation.
Okay.
There's a story behind it.
There is a story back there. Okay. Well, we'll get you out another time to find that out. Because, it's funny with people. You find a lot of folks who have past rockers, and, they're out of the closet as real rockers. And then the instruments go back in the closet. Sometimes they're given away. But, there you can find some pretty amazing things in the closet of all of us rockers from generations ago. Quality guitars, drums, instruments, all that stuff. So I guess if you're listening and you're young, ask your father or your grandfather, what's in storage.
Don't give your drums away.
Yeah, never give your drums away. That's right, because they do, like guitars, they do increase in value. That's great. I'm just curious before we move on with things. What were the musical influences for you in those days? Were you?
Was typical late '60s, early '70s rock.
Okay, really? Now, so did you ever do the drum solo for In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, Drew Kate?
Yes, I did.
All right, now it's official. The longest rock song in history and all that stuff. And of course, do you remember from the '60s? What was the hallmark song when a kid said, "I play drums"? We'd always say, "Can you play Wipeout?"
Oh yeah, that was one of the first things. One of the first songs I learned when I started playing drums.
Yep, playing Wipeout by the band called the Safaris, actually, a surf band. That was just a legendary, influential time. So that's great. So after all these somewhat wild rock and roll years, but you had a great experience with it, as did I. You were somehow inspired to become a certified public accountant. Now, from drummer to certified public accountant, how did this transition take place, Drew Kate?
Well, I realized that I had to have a serious life.
Oh, you're a musician? Okay.
And there was family business, let's call it.
Okay, sure.
And decided to go into accounting.
Okay, so really went forward to be an accountant. That was incredible, of course, and so very helpful. But now, for all of our younger viewers, when people refer to CPA, CPA is a certified public accountant.
Yes.
What are some of the duties? I mean, we heard some things in your bio that a CPA is responsible for.
Okay, well, in different types of companies or firms you work for, there'd be different responsibilities. In my field, I work with closely held businesses and individuals.
Okay.
Businesses being non-public companies.
Okay.
In my kind of firm and my entire background, you were basically a personal advisor to your clients, whether they be businesses or individuals. We provide them with bookkeeping services, accounting services. We have to do financial reports, tax services, planning, a little bit of psychology.
Sure.
You are your personal advisor to your client.
Okay, I see. So and of course, it's a very confidential and discreet sort of service.
Everything's absolutely confidential.
Has to be with clients, absolutely. Well, so if our viewers are out there saying, well, their band has gone so far now that they're generating an income and they are forming now a business. It's just not the rising sun in the backyard anymore, but it's really getting out there and getting definite revenue stream from merch sales, ticket sales, CD sales, that type of thing, and they want to find qualify a CPA. How do they find them? Is this just in a phone book? Is it word of mouth?
Most individuals and or businesses get their CPAs by referral.
Oh, really? Okay.
Very little business is picked up by advertising because it's a personal business.
Okay.
You have to feel comfortable because you're divulging your entire life to your CPA, and you have to feel comfortable with who you're working with. So generally, you're talking to a friend, a relative, a banker, a lawyer, and they'll generally give a referral out for who they are comfortable with as a CPA.
Okay.
Also meshing with your situation.
And is it, Drew, is it kind of like with a primary care physician, you want to engage in a long-term relationship with that CPA?
Yes, it should be you should go into it as being a long-term service because number one, you're divulging a lot of personal information. Right. Number two, there's learning curves for the CPA and for the business or individual, and it takes a while to understand each other. And you
Okay.
don't want to keep starting that all over again.
Sure, I can imagine. Well, they don't. Now, a band, for example, where a client doesn't have to sign a long-term contract with you.
No, there's no contracts.
Okay.
Depending on the situation, there may be engagement letters
Okay.
that are good for a 1-year period or shorter the time of the engagement, but there are no long-term contracts. If somebody says, I want you to sign a long-term contract, run from them.
Oh, really? Okay, that's good advice then. Thank you for that sage wisdom. Because as musicians and bands are often afraid of signing too many long-term contracts.
But
Of course.
if they request an engagement letter, that does need to be signed.
Sure, I can understand that. Now, when you're dealing with paralleling the right CPA to, let's say, a successful band that is a business, is it really no different, the band business, than any other business?
That's correct. The band business, from the eyes of the law, whether it be the IRS or any other government authority, you are a business.
Okay.
There are different particulars to the band business versus a doctor.
Okay.
But they have the same core requirements.
I see. Okay.
As far as, let's talk about taxation. The same requirements of taxation, that things have to be done correctly,
Sure.
no matter what kind of business you are, large or small.
Sure. So before you engage in with a client, they've got to actually, this band has to set themselves up as a recognized business structure. I mean, getting a tax identification number, possibly a bank account in the name of the band.
Correct.
Okay.
And until they speak to the CPA, they might not know what they have to do. The CPA will guide them
Through that.
as to what they need to do.
I see.
Whether they need to be a separate entity or just a business that shows up on their personal individual income tax
I see.
return.
So there's a variety of ways that they can
Right.
do it.
And the CPA will advise them based on their situation what should be the best route to take.
So having a live relationship with a certified public accountant really is a far better way to go than anybody taking the cheap out and just saying, "Oh, I'll buy QuickBooks and fumble through it myself."
Well, QuickBooks is just a tool.
Okay.
The CPA might suggest they use QuickBooks,
I see.
but it's strictly a tool, just like a guitar.
Okay, got it. I understand that now. Bands often struggle with opening bank accounts because so often we hear with bands, one individual says, "Oh, my grandparents loaned me the money so we could do our first CD." Well, the CD tanked and the grandparents couldn't get paid back, and that individual says, "Well, or another individual says, I want to control the money of the band out of my account." And I see bands implode. I use the term implode because it's an internal explosion, the way like buildings would explode or implode. Do you advise, for example, when they open up a bank account, doing something under dual signature, so the members, at least two members of the band on outgoing funds, would both have to sign a check?
If that is what the band requires, you have to first decide what kind of entity you're going to be, because you might just be one person owning the band theoretically and paying the other band members. Well, that person has all the rights. If the band is formed as a partnership or a corporation, then it could be very common that they need to have two people sign the checks. It's checks and balances.
Okay.
This should all be discussed at formation of when everybody's getting together.
I see.
And it should be discussed with their accountant, depending on kind of legal entity, maybe a lawyer. An accountant is a key person to go to first because they can tell you all the other branches to go to.
I see. So start with the accountant.
It's probably the best starting point.
Very, very wise advice. Now, bands often talk about expenses because, boy, bands are really good at generating expenses. And so, they talk about tour expenses, recording expenses, and all. And bands say, "Wow, those expenses, are they deductible?" And if they and under what situations are they deductible? Because when their business is structured. And generating expenses, and they're going to be filing taxes based on that. Is there, for number one, what is the best way to keep track of those expenses?
Okay, there's a number of ways to keep track of expenses. One you mentioned is QuickBooks. Just record it all in QuickBooks. Your CPA will help you set up QuickBooks as far as the categorizing of your expenses, which is called the trial balance. So those get categorized in QuickBooks. You can also do it manually. You don't have to have a computerized system. If there's not a lot of activity going on, it might just be easiest writing everything out in a business checkbook.
Yeah, okay.
And just giving description. Again, you discuss with your CPA, and they will work with you as the best way and explain it and trying to keep it the most economical way also.
And isn't it good to categorize these things?
Yes, everything should be. That's what's nice about QuickBooks, because it automatically will go into a category.
I see.
You write it in a checkbook, you've got to write the category in there.
I see.
Okay, so in the QuickBooks, you'll kind of see it in front of you.
Okay, so let's say a band has engaged with the CPA. They've done a good job of keeping up with all their expenses throughout the year, and now it's time to file taxes. So they just virtually would give the QuickBooks file or whatever it may be to their CPA.
That's the easiest thing to do. You give the QuickBooks file to the CPA. Hopefully, especially in starting up, they've had some communication with the CPA as to what accounts, what categories these go to. So the CPA takes a QuickBooks file, gives it hopefully a quick perusal, that it all looks in order. CPA might have questions, might need some details, but everything is there.
Okay.
And that is if you're filing, it's called as this sole proprietorship on your 1040.
I see.
If you're a partnership or a corporation, then a little more work has to go into it, because we've got formal working papers to do, and there's just further requirements that, your CPA will explain why to do it. There's reasons to incorporate, there's reasons to have a partnership,
Sure.
and there's reasons to act as a sole proprietor. Every situation could be
It
different.
really is different. Yeah, it has to be recognized. So in essence, the CPA, would get the taxes all put together. Obviously, the client, of course, has to pay the taxes and sign and send them in. The CPA would then keep record of those tax forms, so that if there ever was a scrutiny by the IRS, or even heaven forbid an audit, then the CPA could actually get involved with what those.
Yes, the CPA, anything the CPA produces and provides to the client, they've got copies of. They might not keep copies of all the detailed records underlying the tax returns,
Okay.
but they'll have copies of the tax returns and key working papers. And we tell the client that you've got to maintain all your backup data in case it's ever needed in the future.
Sure. Isn't it like 7 years or something you have to have records back up?
That's the good number, 7 years, because generally nothing is going to go beyond 7 years.
I see.
3 years is probably safe.
Okay.
7 years is, in most cases, is the best.
Okay, it's the best way to go. Now, at year's end, taxes are filed and all. Can the band turn to the CPA and say, could you please put together a small profit and loss statement for us? Because the band says, we're so busy and so successful, and we're touring and we're making money and we're categorizing our expenses, and we shoot it all into you, but Mr. CPA, we have no idea, if we're really ahead in this business or not. Is that something that a CPA can easily do?
Yes, there's a couple of ways that can be handled, fortunately or unfortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, with providing financial statements, profit and loss statements. There is a higher cost to that.
Okay.
Because we are governed by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, and they've written the rules as to what we have to do to issue a financial statement.
I see.
So you've got to really want that statement, because you also have to remember your tax returns themselves are a form of a financial statement. They're going to give you your revenue, your categories of your expenses. They're going to give you a balance sheet.
Okay.
Those can be used as your own personal financial statement. If you want to give a separate financial statement, there's different categories, and that does cost extra, because the CPA has to go through specific requirements to issue these financial statements.
I see.
So it is an extra fee. So many times, if you can get away with using your tax returns as financial statements, you can use that. Also, if you are on QuickBooks and when the accountant gives you your adjusting entries, you can prepare your own financial statements off of QuickBooks.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay. I
That
see.
if everything is done according to instructions, they should match. They're just not coming from the outside accountant. You're
I see.
preparing them yourself.
Okay. When you talk about, we're going back to expenses, what happens with individuals, for example, the very instruments that they purchase, if they're deriving their income 100% from, let's say, playing guitar, if they're playing acoustic guitar, whatever, in clubs every single night, coffee houses, and that is their income. And let's say they go out and you have to buy a new guitar. Is that new guitar considered to be a piece of operational expense or capitalization in their business?
Yeah, that's a good question, because you don't have to be involved in your business, your band business, full time. You can have an outside job.
Okay.
But if you are out there marketing your band as a band, and you're getting gigs, you're getting performances, the equipment you're buying is a tax-deductible item on that tax return.
Okay.
Now, your instruments might be, there's different tax incentives as to how to treat the expenses.
I see.
If you've got a lot of revenue, you might be able to take that new guitar, the new amp, the new set of drums, and depreciate it all in 1 year.
Okay.
If your income is marginal and you either can't depreciate all in 1 year, or you don't want to for different planning purposes, it gets expensed over a 7-year period.
I see.
And this could, let's say you have a van for your band.
Okay. Good point.
That's an item. Any equipment, your travel expenses, any expense associated with the operation of that band is deductible.
Okay. So the rule is basically everything, keep track of all of it, whether it's going to be applied 100% or depreciated or not, doesn't matter. The idea, the bottom line is get organized and keep track.
Get organized
Okay.
and keep track.
Okay, I can imagine that's certainly really great advice. People ask all the time, and I can tell you, I guess I'm speaking from my own fears. Is filing your taxes online, is e-filing, really advantageous or safe?
It's safe. Actually, within a few years, everybody is going to be filing their taxes online.
Okay.
As a CPA and preparer of tax returns, except for some preparers out there who are only submitting a few returns, actually we are required that as a preparer, your returns have to be submitted electronically.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
So the world is going that way.
Okay.
If somebody totally objects to it, then there's special forms to get filled out that get attached to the mailed-in return, and they don't have to be filed electronically. But the IRS in the state of Ohio and most other states out there are requiring that all returns, all individual returns, be filed electronically.
Well, I'm
Partnership and corporation, we're not at that
We're
point
already
yet.
seeing it with business sales taxes. I mean, obviously, it's most more electronic now around the country. So let's say Drew, Kate, that somebody is, they've done a great job. They've got decent books. They've gotten a decent tax return and all. Are those really a benefit if they go to a bank in terms of any kind of loan or financing?
Oh, absolutely. If you go to a bank for financing, they're going to ask you for at least your tax return.
Okay.
That shows the band's activity. It's many cases, since it's not an independent entity but part of your individual 1040, they're going to ask for your individual 1040. If you're a partnership or corporation, they're going to ask for the partnership or corporate return. Depending on the size of the loan and depending how the size of the band, they may ask for actual financial statements. It all depends on size.
Okay.
Unfortunately, right now in the banking industry, they might say, well, you haven't been around long enough as a band, and no matter what, we're basing your loan on your personal assets, and you're going to sign the loan personally.
You think they would even collateralize equipment?
Depends on the size.
Stock,
used equipment, as valuable as it is, it's not worth much to the banks.
I see. They need real property.
They need real property that they look as being readily convertible to cash.
I see. You know, another thought too is, you know, keeping band members having the equal right to access the books. If you're, let's say there's 4 members of a band and the band is your client, but let's say somebody in the band, the bassist, is not really trusting what's been going on in reporting and everything else, does that person have the right to contact the CPA and say, hey, can I get your internal opinion? Or, and I guess here's where I'm going with this. I think of rock bands like Fish. And the rock band Fish, you know, these were investment people that did a lot of foolish investing, and the band lost I think tens of millions of dollars of their hard-earned money. I think of like Dane Cook, the comedian Dane Cook. He had his brother managing him and doing the books, and he ripped him off for millions. You know, and successful artists are so busy being successful that they don't have time to do the accounting. Record companies love that. Mm-hmm. They just love it when you're not, you know, we'll take care of all the sales and the accounting work and all. But I guess, you know, does the band, you know, band membership, whatever, have the right to?
Well, let me give you just an example, because it's kind of a broad question, because there could be all kinds of circumstances.
Sure,
but
I understand.
Let's take hopefully what might be a typical situation. You have 4 people in a band, and let's say they are large enough or have enough volume that they are have created an entity, being either a partnership, or you've heard the term limited liability company. It's the same thing as a same thing as a partnership, or you're a corporation. Well, if they are part owners of the corporation, or they are partners or members of that partnership in the limited liability company, they have a right to, let's call it, examine the books or discuss the books with the owner. If it is a corporation, they are not a shareholder of that corporation, or they are not a partner, they then are either treated only as employees or possibly independent contractors, and they've got no rights to the books because they are not owners.
I see.
You have to be an owner. Let's call that the rule of thumb. There's always exceptions. You know, getting into national known celebrities who work with managers, there's a lot of different situations because that's more of managing personal money. But as a business owner, you have, let's call it, the right to have the books discussed with you.
Okay, good. Well, again, you know, like everything, again, it's relationship based, and having quality relationships, and, you know, just like finding good CPAs, it's sort of you get what you pay for kind of scenario. Which reminds me, I know somebody who might be concerned. You know, how do CPAs charge? How does any of this work? Is it hourly? Is it the annual contract?
Well, that's the question that most CPAs don't like to answer.
All right, I'm sure. Don't worry, nobody's listening right now.
Let's take the situation where it is a smaller band, and
it's a startup.
It's a startup band. You've got the band. They're giving the CPA a fairly good recording of revenues and expenses, fairly clean. It just gets attached to their 1040. And it depends what else is on their 1040. You know, you've got wages, you might have itemized deductions, you know, it depends what else is on the 1040. But it falls relatively in line with what you're paying to have your 1040 done already. There's one more attachment that goes onto it. That brings the price up from your 1040, what you've paid. Say you didn't have this band on your 1040 last year, you have it this year. Figure what you paid on your 1040 last year. You're going to add on, depending, let's call it, you know, if it's fairly easy, let's call it, you know, $150 to $200.
Well, that's honestly nothing in the spectrum of what you can do wrong.
That's assuming that, you know, the band member who's handling the books has done what you've asked them to do.
Sure. Well, I think, and a lot of it is with bands. It's like working with a doctor or a lawyer. You know, you want to be upfront. You want to be transparent. You want to be, you know, give them the tools that they need to know about you in order to do the right job. And I guess what I'm hearing is by doing so, it makes their professional work easier, and therefore you're not into a lot of expense and all. And of course, with changing tax laws alone, Drew, it's worth the relationship, because the way things are changing so quickly, CPAs keep up with that, whereas as mere mortals and musicians, we don't.
Right, right. And again, it depends, you know, in this 1040 situation, you know, what you're paying last year. Were you going to a basement accountant?
Sure.
Or you're going to a CPA who's got an office, who's charging standard rates that everybody out there is charging. There's a lot of operations out there, they're cutting rates.
Sure, I understand.
And then also talking with fees, you know, if you're a corporation, you've got a separate entity you're dealing with. If you're a partnership, you have a separate entity. Where the fees start coming in is you know, the services that are being provided during the year.
I see.
You know, saying, and it's not charging for the 5-minute phone call, but it's saying, hey, can you look into this for me, or what about that, or I need some training on how to do something. That's where fees start getting
it's like, you know, things like inventory, merchandise inventory control. The CPA can just once say to you as a band, here are some controls that you can put in place with controlling your merchandise. You know, how much you've ordered, how much you've paid for, how much you've sold, balancing your inventories, and then you do the work. Not the CPA. He does the system, but you actually would be responsible for doing the work and keeping up with that with any degree of accuracy. So again, it's not as big a burden than billing.
Correct, correct. If the more you have the CPA to do, the more expensive it's going to be. So, you know, let the CPA train you, and then take the ball there and run with it. You're not going to like it.
Sure, sure.
But it's going to say it's going to save you money unless you say, I don't care about the fees.
Sure, sure. It's going to save you an awful lot. Any professional relationship, you know, again, always surround yourself with the best, because they more than pay for themselves. And of course, Drew Cate is among the best. I've got 2 more very difficult questions to ask you. Drew Cate, did you ever have the inclination to play the drums again?
Yeah, every once in a while.
Okay, they do come out there once in a while. And I've got to ask you today, since those days have got to be in the 60s and stuff, if we dip into your MP3 player, if you have one, or a CD collection, what kind of music do you like today, Drew Cate?
Still listen to 60s and 70s.
You do, okay.
Yes.
All right. That's why he's hip. That's why he's Drew Cate, a great CPA. And of course, if anybody watching wants to find you and talk to you and maybe engage your services, how do they find you? Do you have a website?
My website actually is currently being redone and developed, so it's shut down right now. But you can reach me at my office. My address is 23360 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 208. That's in Beechwood. My office phone number is 216-440-8800.
Wow, great. Well, he's among the best, I can tell you that, and so we're so glad to have you here. And thanks for sticking with a little music on top of that and giving us a great education, because you are really one of our best friends. So,
thank you, Doc.
Thanks to Drew Cate. So great to have him on the show. I think you learned a lot. I do every time I'm with him. He is worth his weight in keeping your gold yours. So it's great. Hey, and you know, morningshowcentral.com, right here on this station, we have a great time with so many great programs. You can check us out at morningshowcentral.com. And of course, if you want to check out any of the archives on this show, all you got to do is go to bandaidwithdocrock.com, and you'll see, of course, the show is listed. So if you need to get this information that you heard from Drew Cate here tonight, you'll see the archives will be up tomorrow, and boy, check them out, really pick through them, take solid notes, and grow, because it's so very important. You know, there's also other great programming here on morningshowcentral.com. You know, on Thursday nights, we have a lot of fun here. There's a show that I like to watch, and it's for those core video game freaks. And it's found only here on morningshowcentral.com, Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m., and it's called One Life to Play. You know, in this fast-paced show, you will hear news, views, and reviews about gaming mixed with occasional interviews from some of electronic entertainment's premier journalists, developers, and publishers. And you can tune in to see all these live demos and tournaments, and even they have the Frag of the Week. It's all here on One Life to Play on morningshowcentral.com. Thursdays, of course, from 7 to 8 p.m. And you know, Friday, September 23rd, there's a big celebration going down. Our most popular show is called Uncensored Net Noise, and they're going to host their 5th annual birthday bash at the Fantasy Nightclub. Great club. It's going to be happening that evening, Friday, September 23rd. Comedian Anthony Savat will be the MC. The bands are going to be Morality Check, Demons Within at 1,000 full. We'll be rocking the house at 9 p.m. Tickets are $5 to 21 and over, and of course $8 for under 21. So again, visit morningshowcentral.com for details. It's always a party with uncensored net noise. All right, I also want to tell you that you can, if you want to come down and tour our studios, if you've got a creative idea for a show, well, why not? It's all about your creativity. All you have to do to tour our studios is email Chris@morningshowcentral.com. That's right, Chris, the station owner, would like to give you a tour of the station. And while you're here, if you're interested in touring the largest free market green screen production studio in the state of Ohio, we're right next door to them. We share the building with them. It's Creative House Studios. So if you go to creativehousestudios.com, you're going to be impressed with this huge green screen studio. And of course, you can schedule a tour with them as well. You'll be amazed by the facility's endless green screen possibilities for your next video project, all at reasonable rates. That's right. And you could even claim it as an expense. So, all you got to do is contact Peter Graham. He's at 216-225-6592, or email him at peter@creativehousestudios.com for an appointment. So, great stuff happening in this town. So, check these assets out. All right. Oh, boy. This is going to be fun, because after this short break, you're really going to meet a band of strippers. Well, not really. But they do change clothes 3 times each show to augment their 3 sets of 3 different styles of 90s cover rock. That's right. They're a highly sought after club party and dance cover band who go by the name of Hat Trick. Hat Trick will be sharing their cover tricks right here next in the recovery room on Band-Aid with Doc Rock here on MorningShowCentral.com. I got to take a break. I want you to grab another cold one and then turn a quick trick, and I'll see you in just a few with Hat Trick in the recovery room. Hang in there.
MSC Radio Network has just tweeted the following. This bowel movement won't come out. Check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/MSC Radio Network. If you live the lifestyle, then you should arrive in style. Lifestyle Limousine Service. Whether it's dinner for 2, an evening at the winery, or a night out on the town, Lifestyle Limousine provides extraordinary service. Check them out on the web, lifestylelimousineservice.com. Reserve your ride now. 330-903-0508. 330-903-0508. Lifestyle Limousine Service. And make sure you tell them Morning Show Central Radio Network sent you.
Rise above the clutter, brand your identity, and make a statement. Broken Fan Media. Expert video production, television and web commercials, music video, real estate tours, live concerts and events, state-of-the-art post-production, video and audio editing. Check us out on the web at brokenfanmedia.com. 434-944-0472. Broken Fan Media. The next generation of sight and sound.
great consumer demand. Redux Beverages has officially announced the return of its world-famous cocaine energy supplement. It's now available at retail locations across the country, as well as online at reduxdirect.com. That's reduxdirect.com. Don't forget to be part of the all-new Cocaine Energy Supplement social network, where you can meet other Cocaine Energy Supplement fans from around the world. Cocaine Energy Supplement. You can become a member. You can become a member by logging on to lovecocaine.com. and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies, affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Unbound, unstoppable, Uncensored Net Noise's birthday bash. Yeah! Get your ass to Fantasy Nightclub in Lakewood on Friday, September 23rd for live music for Morality Check, Demons Within, and The Thousandfold. Hosted by comedian Anthony Savat. Uncensored Net Noise's birthday bash. Sponsored by Cocaine Energy Supplement. Get more details at morningshowcentral.com. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningshowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. From the Cocaine Energy Supplement Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
Welcome back to Band Aid with Doc Rock here on MorningShowCentral.com. We are in the recovery room, and here are two of the, well, not the best band members in the band hat trick. These are two. This is Peter and Tad. Now, in absentia, of course, you can see their dynamics are really lacking tonight, you know. That has no bearing on their stage because the rest of the band hat trick is here tonight. In the studio, the recovery room, yeah! All right, good to have you here. They're fresh out of jail. Now, this is one wild band, okay? One wild band. Now, the band actually is five-piece. These two don't get paid, okay? But these guys make all the big gigs and the big money. Good to have you guys here tonight. How are you tonight, okay?
Doing great.
Good stuff. How are you?
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, fine. All right. So, now, hat trick, you guys have been up around just, you're new. This 2011 you started this?
Yeah, back in May.
May 2011. Okay. Wow, that is incredible. Now
I think it was May. Ish.
You've been playing so many gigs you don't even know anymore. So that's okay.
What year is it?
That's a great way to be. You know, you guys are legendary. You've had such diverse musical backgrounds, so many bands in past years. Tell us about a few of them. I recognize. I've seen you many times around this show before, haven't I?
Yeah, I've been on the show a few times. You look very familiar to me too, Doc.
Thank you. You're fired. So you played. You were in some of the great young bands you played in?
I started out playing in highball, doing the high school rock-offs, and I believe that's where you and I first met.
Sure, yeah.
You were emceeing it, and our band was playing it. These guys played in the rock-offs as well, and
great teams,
we've all played in so many bands just, I don't even know. Half the time I'm trying to recite what bands I'm in and I get them all wrong.
We have a lot of stuff since then, and you guys, of course, you are the famous B Brothers, okay?
Yeah.
The famous B
Two
Brothers.
of famous.
Two of
World
them.
famous.
There's a whole army of them. You don't mess with those bees, okay? But man, you'll get stung. The thing is, you guys were in prior bands too, and some of them were.
The first one was Outlook.
Yeah. High school.
Yeah.
In high school with Peter here.
Yeah.
Would that be Peter Nero? Who
with Pete Nero.
Who had the John Carroll radio show one time too and everything? Wow.
And world famous Peter Nero.
Well, he was. Look what happened to him though.
With the world famous B Brothers.
And I just noticed a correlation with that band and this band.
Really?
Our first show with that band
Yeah.
was about 2 months after we formed.
Really?
And that was about the same thing with this band too.
Really?
Yeah,
Incredible.
It's kind of a
theme.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a theme. It's a theme.
Okay, but now let's go back. With all this too, there was a couple years ago you had a band had an Oriental name to it.
The Shanghai Hitmen.
Shanghai Hitmen. A lot of people knew about the Shanghai Hitmen. Wow, and you guys played the scene pretty much, along with that as well.
Where those people are that knew about that.
They weren't at the show.
Happens to the best of us, doesn't it? Well, okay, but you've had all this combined past and all these great things that you've done. Why the decision now to just all of a sudden go covers?
Well, the Shanghai Hitmen was actually a cover band as well, and I think that the idea behind it was that we had done original shows, and Kevin was in and out of Highball, and we had Outlook, and then we had a bunch of other side projects, and eventually it just got down to the point where Kevin was doing solo stuff. Every once in a while he would do a full band show.
Okay.
And we did a couple of shows, and the cover songs just went over so much better than the originals. No offense, Kevin. That's just kind of how it all went down.
Okay.
And so we decided at that point in time, we said, why don't we try a cover band?
Okay.
We've been to bars, we've seen cover bands. They tend to draw a much bigger crowd than we play to, and after a while, people that's why they go to the bars.
Okay, so you're saying so in your opinion, Mark, why do you think people like and thrive more on covers?
Because they know them.
Familiarity.
Yeah.
Okay, they know where the music's going. So would that have anything to do with the dance environment? Because they already know the song and the beat, and when the breaks, if you're playing the song true to the cover, they know when the breaks are coming up. So if they're going to put in their moves,
They know where.
They know when to do
And
it.
even bigger, they can sing. They can sing it. They are the first time we ever played in front of bands. I mean, in front of people. The first time we played in front of people that had never heard of us in any of our bands, they were singing every word to almost all the songs we played.
Okay.
People we've never even met.
Yeah.
Every word was shouted back at us.
Do you think with the cover band thing, do you think it engages the audience more in the show?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like there are parts that Kevin doesn't even sing. He just points the mic at the crowd, and then there it goes. It's like any Bruce Springsteen movie live concert video you've ever seen, where there are parts where he just kind of holds the mic up and everybody's singing along, and that's a cool feeling, I think.
Okay, sure.
Now, that's engaging.
Have you ever thought of maybe just sneaking in one original or something, just to see how people respond?
You're not the first person to say that.
Okay.
We've thought about it.
Because you're all prolific writers. I mean,
we haven't gone past the whole thought of it, but I mean, we've been so consumed with doing the cover thing right now. It's like, I think if we were gonna do any sort of original thing, it would be probably under like a different name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that those two things are two completely different entities, and it's like. You mentioned before why do a cover band, and you have your certain reasons as to why do a cover band, and you have your reasons as to why do an original band. And I think when you're out there and you're playing a club like the Blind Pig or something like that, nobody's there wanting to hear a Peter Nero song or a Kevin Conway song. People are there wanting to hear Lady Gaga and stuff like that. And it's like, and with what we're doing with this band, it's so. I guess for lack of a better term, specific in the exact styles of what we're doing. It honestly wouldn't make sense to throw an original song in there. No. So I mean, like Peter still does his original music. I still do my original music.
Okay, sure.
We'll still get these guys together in a band.
So you can
once in
have
a
side
while.
projects,
So
of course.
Yeah, you can do both. You can do both.
It makes a lot of sense. I
yeah.
did hear, by the way, through the rumor that Peter Nero does an incredible Lady Gaga. I mean, really.
Actually, it's Katy Perry.
Yeah, he does. I do the Incredible
He does.
Gaga.
He does.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Well, we do it together.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
both.
okay, fine. Well, we'll stop right there, okay? Yeah, boy. Welcome to the hat trick. By the way, with the hat trick, something I really like is your logo. I celebrate your logo. Because your logo is the top hat, and the top hat's really cool over the number 3. Now, there are 5 people in the band. The top hat is over the number 3 in your logo, and it's really well designed, but why the number 3? Is it a holy trinity? Is it a Father, Son, and Holy Smoke? This band is good?
Actually, it goes. Well, we're amazing, actually, but we'll go back. No, I'm just kidding.
Not that we're biased.
No, we're not biased. No, we'll go back a little bit to when we were in the Shanghai Hitmen. We did a show it was one of those cross shows where we did covers and originals, and we did an 80s set, correct?
Yeah.
Correct, Kevin? And
yeah, it was actually for it was actually my birthday and my my EP release party. So what we did is we sort of combined the my own stuff with the Shanghai Hitmen stuff.
Okay.
We had like an 80s type of theme because I'm a total 80s nerd and just wanted to do that. So because the entire show and the set and the way we dressed and all the musical themes and everything themes, it all reflected this kind of theme for the whole night.
And it was awesome to have something to bring it all together.
Yeah.
Like, we left that night and I was like, why can't every Hitman show be like this? And then I was really thinking about it, and then just one day the light bulb went off. There it is.
Oh, did it? Okay, wow.
Yeah, wow. And I immediately I sent out an email. I'm like, hey, guys, I have this really, really, really cool idea. I'm like, we usually play 3 sets. That's pretty standard for any cover band. There you go, the light bulb. And I'm like, what if each time we do those 3 sets, we completely and utterly change the theme for that hour and a half of music? And we were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We have to do it. And unfortunately, with the current lineup of songs we had at the time, it just wasn't going to work.
Okay.
And then life happened to the Shanghai Hitmen, and we kind of went our ways. And everyone was still like, man, we got to do this. And then some opportunities arose and everything, and we're like, let's do it.
Tad moved back from Columbus.
Tad moved back.
Really?
We just started jamming, Tad and Chris and I.
And then Peter Nero signed on.
Well,
And that phone call was a celebratory phone call. I had been after Pete to join our cover band
No, he's a great artist, obviously, and a very successful artist.
Yeah,
very talented man.
And when he said yes, I was like, this is going to be good.
So this wasn't a hard sell, Chris.
Yeah, it was like signing.
But a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
This is Chris, this wasn't a hard sell with these guys, pretty much, right? I mean, really.
The hardest sell, honestly, Pete was kind of tough. He was kind of tough. Kevin was hard to get. Kevin was hard because he didn't want to do the time commitment with the Hitman was. I mean, he was doing guitar and vocals and it was a lot to learn and do.
Okay.
So in this one, we're like, Kevin, we're just looking for vocals. We just want someone to sing and get the crowd going.
Sure.
And he was like, we'll see it. And we actually had him up just hanging out one weekend, and we had 5 or 6 auditions for singers.
Sure.
Well, the one was just didn't go well at all. But I mean, this weekend we had 5 interviews. None of them showed up. None.
So
Zero.
I just showed up to hang out, and they're like, yeah, nobody showed up. I'm like, oh.
So you're hired.
Well, I kind of know these songs. I'll jam along with
so
you.
So we jammed
see how it goes.
Okay, so
he was in.
So moves along now. But let's go back to this number 3 though. I mean, you're doing.
Oh right.
We were supposed to answer
that question, weren't we?
Because the number 3, what I heard is you're doing like 3 different sets.
Yeah.
Representing the 90s. Or 80s, 90s?
Not specific to the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to correct you on that one.
Yeah. One set. Okay, the typical show. I'll run you through a typical hat trick show.
Okay, I'm ready.
For instance, we played at the Blind Pig.
Okay.
In July.
All right.
And we came out, and the first set that we did was a 90s set.
Okay.
And so we played songs like we played Republica, Ready to Go.
Exhibit A.
And we all dressed like this.
Like
that.
There you go.
Exactly.
Okay, sure.
the classic flannel, ripped jeans, everything like that.
Bandanas, all of that.
Yeah, and we played Cake, and we played Republica, and we played Sublime, and we played Blink-182.
Okay.
And the idea, well, the kind of common theme is that we try to keep all the songs dancey. No matter what style they're in, they all have dancey kind of beats. People can dance to them, people can sing along. They're very, extremely popular.
And it's hard to do, because we actually ended up cutting 3 or 4 songs we loved to play. Like, we did a couple versions of a few songs, and we're like, these songs are so awesome, but
okay, so
we'd finish that 90s set. We would take a 10-15 minute break. We'd all run into the bathroom, all 5 of us. We'd all strip down to our underwear. The bathroom attendant, the bathroom attendant is in there, kind of like, guys, what the heck is going on? We all throw on clothes, and we all come in. Then we all come out dressed in Exhibit B, right here.
Okay.
How I'm dressed.
Exhibit B. Okay.
We had this idea that it'd be like a hipster set or a new wave or indie rock.
Sure.
And so we'd play songs by bands like Franz Ferdinand and the Killers, and the Neon Trees and bands like that. And so it's a totally different style of music, different style of dress, still all dancey, fun, very popular songs everybody knows. And then we would take another break, once again, run into the bathroom, creep out the bathroom attendant, come back out, and we're dressed in Exhibit C.
Okay.
Like, we would call this our bro outfit. This is broing out, right?
Broing out, okay.
We gotta pop that guy.
All right, it's broing out.
Yeah, we'll bro out, and we'll come out. We'll come out dressed like Brokahanis over here, and we'll play what we call our top 40 set, and that's when we're bringing out the big guns. That's when we're playing Lady Gaga, and we're playing Kesha, and we're playing Usher and CeeLo Green, and a number of those.
Some of the more challenging artists, may I add.
Well, it's challenging because it's so electronic today. That's what's popular.
I mean, try to play a Blink or a Black Eyed Peas song on a guitar.
Yeah, you don't see bands doing it, and it's.
But we kind of make our own arrangements in that. But then that's our 3 sets.
Your style is obviously impressive because, we just got Tad from your band. Tad is in the chat room, and Tad says he really likes Mark's hat.
Oh, yeah?
So he's really into that. And, Peter...
He has a corduroy, like a brown corduroy...
I think he's wearing it there, isn't he?
Does he really?
He's actually wearing it, right?
He's wearing it in that picture.
And Peter Nero is just... Peter Nero is watching, and he, and so in his rebuttal, he says he just wants to know if the sun is in Mark's eyes. He said, what's up with you? He's smiling and he's saying your glasses are pretty.
He wears his sunglasses at night.
Yeah. Is that how it is?
Hold the Corey Hart.
He wears them in dimly lit bars.
All right, so we've got now I'm trying. So on the show, the audience, you're running off stage. Are you telling the audience that you're the same band, or they do they know the trick? I mean, you're running off stage.
Kevin actually started this thing.
This is kind of where the 3 comes from. The idea behind the 3 is when we're doing these 3 sets and we're doing 3 different styles and we're dressing in 3 different styles each show, the idea is it's almost like having 3 completely different bands in a single night.
Sure.
And actually the slogan for the band is 3-course music. So that's kind of where the 3 symbol.
I like it. I like it. I think it's
Kevin at our last show started doing this thing, and I thought it was pretty funny. After he'd say, we have one more song, and then we're taking off for the night, and this other band's coming out. It's a bunch of bros. A bunch of bros are coming out here and play for you guys. You guys stick around. These bros, man, they can play.
You can't fool the fans. The fans can see through that, can't they?
They eat it up. It's entertainment, and I mean, it's the difference.
I like that word, entertainment.
Entertainment. It's the difference between becoming background music at a bar, because even as musicians. If it's random and nothing's bringing it together and you're just hanging out, it's like after an hour or so, you're not really listening. You're socializing. It's called
wallpaper.
Yeah, it's the jukebox scenario.
Wallpaper. I like that.
They become in the back, but the handful of shows we've done so far, getting this off the ground. I mean, we have been the focal point. Almost the entire night. And it's been pretty awesome.
So you have all the wardrobes set, by the way, too, so you don't get screwed up and get the wrong wardrobe with the wrong set.
That would be funny.
Yeah, that's gotta be a pretty.
But see, that's not the limit with that either. Eventually, we would like to
move to a 5.
We'd like to have more sets. Like, for instance, we'd like to add maybe a country set, or maybe we'll add an oldies rock, a 60s rock set.
Or an 80s.
And then at each show, depending on where we're playing, say we're playing at old home days.
Sure,
we're playing
sure.
at Broadview Heights
Sure.
home days. Obviously the top 40 set might not go over very well, some of the language.
So
and
you can
we
it's 3 sets a show, but you can change
pull them in and
change
out.
them out.
Yeah, because if you do them all in one club, nobody's going to be able to get in the bathroom.
Yeah,
No, that's true.
That's
It's a big problem.
And not only
That's
that,
probably-
our consistent fan base, it gives them something
Variety.
fresh, something new to
I
come
see.
see. So they're not
Okay.
seeing the same.
So the fans,
Three.
So let's go back. The fans. So the fans are reacting. The fans are dancing.
Oh.
The club owners are happy because I remember in Doc's dance band days a long time ago, the club owners told us, "You get my audience to dance, they get hot. When they get hot, they buy drinks. When they buy drinks, I pay bands." Got it? Didn't take
Bingo.
us
Got it.
to understand
Bingo.
that, and it works. And and getting people up and moving really does work. And it's frustrating when you go to a lot of shows today, especially original shows. And first of all, I hate standing. I just people are standing for 3 hours in a club, and they're going to get another beer or whatever it may be, and just standing and watching the band. Why are you paying to do that? Exactly. I sit there and try to figure this out. Where has our mediocrity level been lowered? Our tolerance level of entertainment that we're gonna the movie theaters you're at least gonna see. Maybe it's a popcorn or something. But it really it's so people love to interact, and I think dancing, especially Dancing with the Stars also, but dancing's coming back.
Yep.
And you're really on the cusp of that, and I think that's so important. When the fans are watching your shows and they're leaving and they're going to your website, what are they saying? Great party last night. I danced more than I ever did. Are people dancing, to successive songs rather than just one?
Yeah.
It's almost like you can watch things play out. You know when someone needs a drink from the bar because they look at each other like, dude, whose turn is it? Who's going to,
Yeah.
And then we take a step break. We run to the bathroom. They run to the bar, or they run to go get a drink, or that 15 minutes is just like it flies, and then everybody's rolling, ready to go again.
And it's kind of fun too because, like, for instance, when we were playing at the Blind Pig, a lot of people would come in and they have that dive bar in the basement. It's a dance club.
Okay.
It's legitimately they have a DJ.
Sure.
It's just a dance club, and people would come in the door of the Blind Pig, and then if any of the viewers haven't been there, there's a staircase that goes down, and then there's the dance club down there. And they would kind of come in and they'd see us playing and they'd stop for a minute, like I've done a number of times, walked into the Blind Pig, said, there's a band playing, I'll check them out for a minute. And I'd stand there and watch, and then if I wasn't impressed, I went down to the dance club.
Okay.
Got my rage on.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's the thing. We were watching. I just happened to be set up on that side of the stage, and I was watching a bunch of these guys come in, and they would look at the band, and they'd be like, yeah, go on, or whatever you're gonna do. Like, I'm gonna stay and watch for a second, and then they never made it down the stairs. They slowly to watch them start like migrating into the middle.
And club owners see this.
Oh yeah.
Bands don't realize it, but club owners are watching the expressions on people's faces, the amount of volume at the bar, the comments at the bar. Bartenders hear things and tell the club owners, "Hey, people were really having a good time. That really like this." Has the whole concept of the hitmen been a far easier concept to sell to talent buyers for gigs?
Hat trick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
Well, we got a nice show tonight. Thanks.
Nice.
I'm sorry. My mistake in that one. All right, but sorry, guys. But is it an easier sell? It's got to be. If you're
it
calling...
actually really is. Because it's interesting because we've all tried to book in previous bands and whatnot, and I think when you call up a club owner, they don't. He as much as every musician in every band thinks that their band is the greatest thing in the world,
right.
They're the best musician, and we play the best songs, and you guys have to hear us. That's not true. Club owners, they don't care. They
see bodies.
Exactly what you said. They see they see the bottom line. They see how many people are you bringing in, how many of those people are drinking, how much money am I making.
It's a business.
So and they have bands there. Yeah, it's a business. I mean, they have bands there every weekend. So when you're calling these club owners trying to get a gig, they're not paying attention to like, oh, my band is the greatest thing in the world. They're just hearing, we're another band.
You're going to cost me money.
You're going to cost me money. Hopefully you'll bring in some people. So it's interesting because when we're talking to some of these club owners, once we start describing what it is that we do and the reaction that we're getting, you can hear it in their voices. They go from, oh, okay, what do you do? What kind of band are you?
When are you available?
To like, oh, really? That sounds pretty cool.
That's different.
Like, how much do you charge? You know?
Well, and club owners will always tell you they get disappointed. Bands hype them. They go to a band's website and they see how many hits are on the website. They assume because there's so many hits that everybody's going to show up, and really the correlation isn't really true, and so but if you are able to bring a party to their establishment, if you will, that have a good time, it's a win-win for absolutely everybody. So I think it's a great sales thing. And of course, you've done all the right things. You've got a nice Facebook page. I hear that you're going to be opening an outrageous website. So so it's not for the faint-hearted.
Peter Nero's on it.
Oh, Peter Nero's on
that guy. Pete, how's it going on the website?
It's going to be.
How's the progress coming?
You don't say.
It's no news yet.
No news.
No news yet. Peter Nero will have it all done. It'll be an incredible website. I'm sure he does everything first class. I'm being political. Then how are you guys balancing this? You're now all in your 20s and the whole bit, and you're all working serious jobs and all that. So I'm being polite, how now are you balancing this with your working lives? Is it a good outlet?
You have to, because if you don't have that outlet, we'll go insane. I mean, you got to have that outlet just to get the stress out, forget about what happened at the office or wherever, you gotta have it. In my opinion, you have to.
So you look forward to ending the week on a good Friday night gig, Saturday gig,
or even rehearsal. Like with this band, like just the whole mentality and attitude. Like I didn't quite get to it in one of my statements earlier, but it's just like when we come to practice, it's just like our shows. It's so much fun. It's like we look forward to it all week, and then like Kevin was saying earlier, maybe not in the interview, but like when the days we don't have a practice, we're like, man, I really wish we were practicing or we were playing or something tonight. Cause
I've been in bands before where showing up to a practice was almost like a chore, and this one, it's like, I can't wait to get to practice.
And this is the point that I really think is fantastic with Hat Trick that so many bands need to understand. It's okay to play covers. It's okay to be, a cover band, not compete with Hat Trick, but to be a cover band out there. People don't realize alone the wedding business and all. Big business. There's guys that do great jobs at weddings and nothing but weddings and make a whole lot of money, okay?
Also, there's other things, too. I mean, we were just talking with one of the workers here, and she was talking about cruises.
Right. There's another one, yeah.
And we hadn't even thought about
that. The market is larger, and
imagine if your job was on a cruise ship.
Sure.
It'd be a pretty sweet job.
Absolutely.
Think of worse things
sure. You play lots of gigs and get lots of diseases. It's great. No. Why not?
Where were you going with
that? Please. We'll have to make sure we get shot. Yeah. You're a doctor, right? You can get a shot.
Sure, you just go into the men's room and have to change between sets on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Okay, you spell village people? Okay. All right. No, so with all this, there's no real challenge, again, with your growth right now. Really, you're just having fun, building out the shows, tweaking what the fans like, delivering what the fans like, and having a whole lot of fun with it. And as in showbiz, and I think that's a great part.
Yeah, I mean, if we're having fun, this audience is gonna see that. It's gonna be contagious. They're gonna have fun, and if they have fun, I mean, we've had so many people be like, "You guys were so entertaining. We had so much fun. When are you playing next?" I mean, we've been in bands where they just left. They didn't even talk to us.
But you're great musicians too. Now, are you becoming shopaholics, looking for more things to fill out these wardrobes?
Yes. Oh yeah. Every time I'm out at I frequently send picture messages to everybody in the band if I ever see anything that's good. Just the other day, I happened to be at the Great Lakes Science Center.
Okay.
And they had those shutter shades. And they had LED lights in them, and I thought they would be like really great for like this new wave set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just you never expect to see them at like the gift shop to the Great Lakes Science Center. But
okay.
And we're always open to suggestions too. Like if there's anybody watching tonight that is like, you know what? I think for your 90s set, instead of going grunge one time, you should do this. Or instead of, broing out, you know,
but it's building the entertainment. I did hear a rumor. I don't know. We won't tell anybody if you want to confess this. Does Peter Nero really wear spandex?
No, he wears skinny jeans.
Peter Nero poured himself into a pair of skinny jeans.
He's squeezes himself into a pair of my jeans.
Is that what it is?
One of these pairs
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, it's all great stuff. By the way, of course, on Facebook.com/HatTrickBand.
Yeah.
Hat Trick Band. So you go to Facebook.com, Hat Trick Band. You'll absolutely enjoy what you see with these guys, and you are going to get bigger and better and wilder. And go to the Hat Trick gigs, go dance, stay out of the men's room. But it's just, but you can't. They say you don't buy beer, you only rent it. So it's difficult.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, so why don't you guys do like 40-ounce Hat Trick cups, okay? So in case...
Sip cups. Sippy cups.
That's not what I was
thinking. Because you don't want to spill them.
That's not what I was thinking of using the cup for.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
As long as the lid is detached.
So is that what it is?
Detachable lid.
All right. Well, I wish you a lot of... You guys are a lot of fun. You are a party anywhere you go. You got... Well, whatever, okay? But thank you for being such a fun band. I wish Hat Trick a lot of luck. What a great time. Thanks for being in the recovery room. It's so important, and we're going to catch some more of your gigs and all that stuff. All right. Hey, I'd like to say, of course, thanks to the Band-Aid production team, the Intern Wizards, for being out there and having a great time and keeping us going with this show. I'd like to say thanks to Social Racket for all the promo that he does for us. My man, Jared Holly, who's out there cruising the nation looking for hot talent and telling the doc all about it. I appreciate him. Wish him a lot of safe touring travels. And, of course, the big guy back there who's laying on the floor. We just hired a cheap cardiologist with a defibrillator because he's the Flying V who keeps this show all together. And we made it through another one. But you know the most important person? It is you for logging onto this podcast, because you really are a part of this team. Next week on September 6th, our VIP guest will be Doc Rock. That's right, because I have something to say. I really want to have a heart-to-heart talk with you about how you can find your true artistic vision and how the proper development of that can really make your career. This is going to be really important. I've got something to say. I hope you're going to be there to listen to your doc. Also in the recovery room, we're going to salute a trio of young, cool, creative cats from the talked about instrumental band, The Colonel. That's right, The Colonel will be here in the recovery room next week. We'll also be injecting the latest rave band's Cleveland's own Minute of Arc, along with a new wave and pop sensation all the way from Tulapaca, France, called Velvet Sky. Ooh la la, that's going to be quite an interesting thing. I'm sure they'll be smashing the BAMs for them on that show. So please make sure you're with us next week here at MorningShowCentral.com at 9:05 p.m. for Band-Aid. You need more than just a creative artist's mind to have a career in music. You need to know the fundamentals of simple business practices and, of course, just to be a pro. It's all about education and surrounding yourself with honest business professionals. They can mind the store and allow you all of your creative time. Making good choices will set you free, and it will rock your world. I'll see you at the top. Namaste.
All this energy calling me back where it comes from. It's such a crude attitude. It's back where it belongs. All the little kids growing up on the skids are going Cleveland rocks, Cleveland rocks. Jumping Gene and Moody James Dean going Cleveland rocks, Cleveland rocks, Cleveland rocks.
Get down, damn it! And keep on rocking for the free world.